All right, we're going to go ahead and roll into our post-race press conference here for tonight's Cracker Barrel 400 here at Nashville Superspeedway. We've now been joined by our race-winning crew chief, Jonthan Hassler, and Michael Nelson, who is the president of NASCAR operations at Team Penske. Thank you both for joining us. Congratulations on that win. In the interest of time, we'll go ahead and open for questions. If you have a question for Jonthan or Michael, raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Who would like to kick us off? Anybody? No questions? All right. Go ahead and just give us, Jonthan, we'll start with you. Give us your thoughts on the race from, your standpoint on the pit box.
Yeah, I think for us it was, it was really nice just to finish off a race. I feel like we've had really good speed, all throughout the year, especially at the intermediates and mile and a half kind of tracks that this kind of fits into. But, we haven't been able to get the race, like I said, finished. So it was good for us to go and do that. We had a little bit of adversity just with our starting position and our pit stall, but we were able to kind of get our track position and maintain it once we got it.
All right. Dustin, did you have a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Jonthan, can you take me through the thinking of how you did your pit strategy and how you guys decided to pit, waited a little bit longer for the last stop and how you kind of set up for that? Because, for instance, the 77 went a lot sooner, and he ended up going, I think, from 6th to 2nd after that cycle. What worked for you, and why did you guys do what you did?
Yeah, I think, for my seat, we saw probably a little bit less fall off than we've seen here at Nashville before. And in those instances, we definitely just try to, make sure the car is in, the cleanest air that we can get it in. So, and sometimes into that, when that's your focus, you might, get what you want by pitting early. Sometimes you might get it by pitting late. So we just kind of watched where we're going to come out on track and try to get the best track position we could.
Obviously, you guys are used to winning. You know what it takes. But, I mean, this season, the highs and lows, everybody's human. So how did you work with that? How do you go through that? How do you work with that with Ryan? Because, look, I think everybody kind of figured you probably have a win by now and probably could have had a couple wins by now and had different things. How did you kind of work through the ups and downs?
Yeah, I think just, trying to maintain the energy of the group is probably the biggest challenge. And my message to them has, and even to myself, has been that, we're perfectly capable. We've been in position. A lot of things have happened that are outside of our control. We just need to keep doing what we can, controlling what we can control, and things will finally turn around. And it's nice that they did today.
All right. Any final questions for Jonthan or Michael? All right, Michael, we'll just grab a comment from you. Just tell us a little bit about, obviously the 12 teams had some rough finishes this year, and Jonthan kind of hit on that. Just what does it mean to be at this point in the season and know that they're in victory lane?
Yeah, I think for all of us, it's really a relief. We've been close so many times, and it really lets us kind of kick the door open and take a few chances, hopefully swing a little harder and go win a lot more races.
All right, okay. We'll go to Dustin. Yep, and then we'll come up front to Dustin. You're good. Go ahead.
Dustin J-Ski, for you, Mike, to have all 4 cars locked in with Josh, at this point, how important is that?
Well, it's obviously pretty awesome to have a little bit of that pressure off for the guys. And, again, like I just said, it gives you a chance to go out and, take some chances here and there and try to rack up a bunch of wins. So, no, we're grateful to be at this point with our cars this time of year.
All right. And we'll take another question from Dustin Long.
Jonthan, 6 of the last 12 races in the regular season, 4 are on road courses, 2 are on drafting tracks. So things start changing once you get past Michigan next week. What's the challenge for you guys? You've been strong we've certainly seen the speed at the big tracks and some tracks. What's the challenge coming up in this next stretch to get more points, playoff points, to get yourself in a better position for the playoffs, because these are some unique tracks coming up?
Yeah, I think for us, and it's probably, the same across our company, road courses have probably been our biggest weakness. And as we've started to get each of the teams locked in, we've definitely been able to focus a little bit more effort on that. And, we'll now have the opportunity to go and experiment a little bit more and certainly try to make that program better. So I think that's certainly a big part of our focus going forward.
What does that mean by the focus? Because
Yeah, I think, once you get the win, obviously points are important, but you're locked in. So you can definitely go and experiment and run some setups that maybe, you're not 100% confident in, but you want to try, you want to get that data point, and I think we'll be able to go and do things like that.
All right. Jonthan, Michael, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again.